We are doing basic medical training with A.A.O, aka Australian Armour Operations. They're an Australian-run armour server who I found to be very, very capable and great people.
Did anyone standing here use the large backpack that used to be in the arsenal on a regular basis?
That's the server if anyone wants to join up and say hello.
I've noticed it's no longer there.
Yeah, and what do you think about that?
Gentleman here waiting here.
Not sure yet.
Looks like we're all set up.
I know. That huge backpack, right?
The huge one, yes.
Yeah, Andrews might have something to say about that.
I'm sure he will.
But I never used it.
I've actually never used that backpack ever once in Reforger, and I've got 1,500 hours.
Pretty much use one of these standard ones.
I use what I think I would use in reality.
If you're staying out for a week, you'd probably take it.
Weather looks fair. We're on, what map are we on? I forget what map. It's one of the Middle Eastern ones. Tajikistan or something like that. Fallujah, that's it. We're on Fallujah. We're going to do our basic medical training here.
It's really good if you use the orders as well.
Also, another thing, the reason why Andrews and Dara use it a lot is when, as a medic, you pick up a body, you can put the person's weapon in the backpack. So you don't have to go that through.
It's raising that. Seems like we're having a sober conversation, so I was going to wander around and have a bit of a tour of the base. Looks to be quite well stocked. I did take one of the choppers for a ride before, and well, let's just say I'm still working on my landing. One of the Black Hawks over there. Transport slash logistics trucks. Transport, troop carrying. And these are a lot of fun. Them MRAPs. I believe I've featured them in some of my videos. Good fun. We don't see often. I'm sure we'll check that out later. As we'll probably stick around to play on this map after basic medical training. So just to give you basic insight on what it's like to operate with these guys. From what I know, they're quite organised. They're not serious to a T. They like to have a bit of fun as well. But they like to be organised. So that's just the kind of thing I'm looking for in my gameplay.
Load them up with whatever we need. It's a matter of not leaving your Vic and keeping it, really.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part, is keeping your Vic. Other people come along and take the bloody thing.
That's why you lock it.
Yeah, on this particular mission, the lock doesn't actually work, but there's no one in here that's going to do that to your cruiser. But in the public server, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that lock is a conflict mod.
Okay.
But we may end up running possibly a conflict mission on here for everyone, maybe Gulf Islands or something like that, which would be awesome just to run with smaller groups.
I'd like to have a conflict one again. I do enjoy that style of play as well.
It'll come. We're just sort of having a crack at these, but yeah, we'll get it back. So we're just actually waiting on Andros, I think. We'll give him a couple more minutes, and if he doesn't join, we'll go get started. But I'm not too worried. We're not going to run a mini-op after this, so I'm going to just try and knock it over in an hour.
Gotcha.
We might need to.
Bloody fantastic. It's done in an hour and back to play.
Andros, he won't have he'll join and he'll realise when his loadout doesn't load correctly.
Oh, he will. He will.
He already knows, trust me.
Oh, okay. Good.
Because I can see him right now in the public server.
But it's already let off his frustrations, I'm sure.
He doesn't look like he's going to come, so I'm just giving him a minute just to double check, but... Alright, we might move over to where we're going to do this anyway. Beautiful job, Hutto. Did you set this up?
Yep.
None of which will be needed, but very nice. We'll just jump in here, actually.
This is great.
If anyone decides to
I love this kind of thing. Borders on role play, but it's not super serious.
Real fucking freaky, these sheds, aren't they?
Yep.
All this space, nothing to fill it.
No. Well, we'd normally do this on the training server, but they're running a CQB training there tonight.
Fair enough.
Should be interesting. Alright, well I don't think I'm going to wait any longer. It's 7:02 now. He's normally pretty, I think he normally runs on time, and he's obviously not here, so yeah, welcome to the medical procedures training. I would normally run a mini-op after this, but being a Thursday night, I know, fucking what's his name now? Yeah, knows who he is, Peter Pan.
That guy.
I had to think about it because I think it's like the third name I've seen.
You made me change my last name. So...
No, I didn't make it. But yeah. So yeah, normally we'd run a mini-op, we're not going to. We'll just go through the training and end it. It's Thursday night anyway.
I mean, I'm happy to do one. I'm already staying up till 10 o'clock on Sunday, so what's Thursday?
Yeah, that's the benefit of this server. I mean, the ops set up down there for you, the objectives are there. If you just want to run it, run it. Hutto? Oh, you're beside me. You can, your mic's a little low, by the way, but feel free to pipe in any part of this training.
Yep.
It sort of sounded better. I think it's just your mic positioning.
Probably.
But yeah, pretty much what this is going to cover is just the basic medical hierarchy and logistics.
Okay.
The casualty management process, the MASCAS, MCIs, the CCPs, so casualty collection points, and then we'll go through the doctor's CABC procedure, and finally just end with handing over a patient and our conclusion. So one thing I'll just point out is that the training doesn't actually cover any medical, which might surprise you, but the training that we're about to do is more designed for section members, not medics.
Okay.
The we have a medical training coming, which will be designed at medics and will be all around the first aid and the treatment. So this one's just more around the medical situation and how to handle the situation. This is kind of the one that we want all section members to do, because this is going to happen to every single person.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll start with the medical hierarchy, and this is in the situation of an MCI. So during an MCI, medical personnel have full control of the medical treatment and treatment area. So this means when I say medical personnel, this is the section medic until someone higher comes in. So if support's called in from PHQ or when we have a medical section, they will assume control once they come in. But while a section's waiting on that, it will be the section medic that takes control of that section. So yeah, this includes non-medical personnel, so the medic will have control of all the section. A section medic can ask a section commander to leave the treatment area if required. So yeah, if a section leader is trying to overrule that medic, the medic can request they leave. That medic has full control over that situation. That medic will ask section members to position themselves pretty much in a way that it protects the area where he's providing treatment. Any questions on that?
That's straightforward.
Yeah.
I understand that. I'm just assuming that that's based on the fact that while medics giving the procedures, then other people keep putting their hands in. They don't know who's doing what.
Yeah, and it's in the situation of an MCI, so declared MCI. So the section is crippled. It's no longer effective anyway.
Yeah.
The casualty management process. So the casualty management refers to how medical situations and MCIs are organised, conducted and controlled. These guides, along with the doctor's CABC steps, will help medical personnel and call signs complete the situations quicker, more efficiently, and with greater success. So one thing that you will realise, this whole thing is around doctors' CABC steps, and that is listed in a PDF on the Discord for anyone that wants to just have a look at what those steps are, but we'll go through them here. But yeah, just a quick reference guide is listed there. So an MCI mass CAS, A.A.O classes MCI as 2 or more personnel are on-con, or a call signs medic is unconscious. So we're looking at now section sizes of 8. So we're saying if 2 or more members are down, we're declaring an MCI, and that call sign is now ineffective. Same as if our medic goes down, that's declared straight away, because obviously you've got no support as soon as another member goes down, which will be likely without a medic. You will also be in an MCI, so we've decided as soon as the medic's down, that's MCI. So that means if you're section medic and 2 members are knocked unconscious, you are to then immediately call for PHQ's assistance. MCIs can be very overwhelming, so the sooner you get assistance, the better. So yeah, these situations we're not expecting to be, by the way, I'm referring to unit operations here. I would like to see similar thing happen like in the public servers and when we're running, but I'm very much referring to how we're expecting things to go during an operation. So yeah, the call for assistance needs to happen straight away. We've got 2 call signs. So we've got a platoon medic who's standing right beside me, Hutto, and we've got our support medics, which are currently running with A.A.O, that we can organise to get to your POS and provide assistance. So yeah, for section medics in particular, that's but that could go for anyone, because don't forget that section medic could be down, and if it's an MCI, someone needs to call that through. It would be done normally by the section lead or the 2IC probably, but you just don't know the situation. Everyone could be wiped there, and you may have to call that in. So yeah, there's not much more really on the MCI. It's pretty simple. Any questions on that?
MCI is mass casualty incident, for those who don't know.
Nothing good. I noticed Andrus just joined the server, so I'm kind of just dragging here just to see if he comes over to us, but he's probably... Alright, we might just continue. He's obviously messing around with his arsenal now that he realises he's got no backpack. Trying to work out how to fit those 20 bandages and...
What do you mean? I've got 24 bandages, a fucking med kit, I've got 6 saline bags, I've got 12 epinephrine, I've got 12 morphine, and I've got 12 mags as well. And I've got 6 smokes, and I've got 2 green smokes, and I've got 2 grenades.
Yeah, so that's just an indication that it does need to be limited a lot more, but we're just looking at some simple ways to limit it right now. We will bring in harder. What I'd like to do is make a mod that just hits weights of all items, so weights of bags, and that will really limit us. But anyway, the next point is casualty collection points, so CCPs. So CCPs are a location set by anyone, primarily done by the medical staff, where both conscious and unconscious patients can be moved in order to receive medical treatment. CCPs are placed in the safest place possible and in a location that is close enough that members and call signs can get their patients there quickly. Depending on the combat situation, time and the availability of manpower, CCPs can be very simple or very detailed. So I'm going to show a quick example of one here now. It's very different to probably what we'd normally do on the training server. Hutto will see that when we go over there. Normally we would have a building set up where we actually create a proper CCP, where we've got a treatment room and a recovery room, and we've also positioned riflemen to provide security on that building. We normally do it in a open top building that everyone can walk up on and have a look down on top. Maybe Dingo has been in that one?
I've been in that one.
No, I haven't been on that one. This is my first medical one.
Okay, fair enough. Well, King, who was it, sorry?
Yeah, King, yeah.
Okay. It's weird. I don't think we've done one for a while, have we? Hutto? All good. So yeah, we're going to move down there and have a quick look. Mine is on the side of a mountain in the middle of nowhere, which could also become a CCP. So yeah, the treatment room and the treatment area is a room where all patients are currently being treated to the point of stabilisation. Well, just going back just one step here, where it said these can be quite detailed or pretty much just set up in a field anywhere. Depending on the situation, like if we're attacking a town as a platoon and all members are there and we have time to set one up, you'll see that these call signs will set up a CCP. It will be very organised. Everyone will know the location. Or these could be so basic that they're in the field, in a little defilade or something like that, and marked on the go, and just everyone is told of the location. So that's what I mean by detailed or not. But yeah, so the treatment room is just treating patients to the point of stabilisation. The recovery area is a position where we move them to just so they can recover. So we're talking about dealing with quite a few people here. They could be treating like two medics can get through a lot of people when it's organised properly. So we don't need everyone working on these people. We need security so no one else goes down in that situation, and a couple of medics will fix almost any situation. So yeah, CCPs are generally laid out in a fashion that allows for easy identification of patients and the status of their treatment and recovery. There'll always be someone in charge there, whether that's a section medic or our support call sign, A.A.O. There'll be someone in charge, and that person will know who's laying where and what they need done to them. So quickly, we might go on now before we come back and go through these the doctor's CAC steps. Follow me.
Run, Forrest, run.
What is a friend?
Got everyone? So yeah, this is a real basic one. I've just put the example out with barrels, assuming that we're possibly moving up north here, and we've been attacked out here. We've pulled into this little defilade here just to provide assistance to anyone who's gone down. What the medic's done here, he's moved in, and the blue barrels that you see out around the edges, there's one up there too, you can hardly see it. There's 5 in total, I think. He's positioned those section members to provide security on this spot. This is the CCP. They can set this up to the point of stabilising everyone, and then move everyone on and keep this running here as a point where they can bring them back to. So what they've done, they've got security around this area. We've got a point right here where we're providing treatment, and then once we provide that treatment, they're moving them back up here for recovery. So yeah, it's pretty simple, but you know, we got full protection in here. They would have to almost be on top of us on one of these hills to take us out, unless they came from the west, obviously. But we do have security out to the west. We got three guys out to the west. We've got one up on that hill, and then one behind us. So we've got not too bad security, enough to provide enough for us to get these guys stable again, and then make a decision whether these guys stay here or we just all move on. You got any questions on that?
I do have one question.
What's that?
During an MCI, including medics, would it be protocol to prioritise healing the medics first to get them back in active service?
100%. 100% medics first are the most important, and then leadership.
Right.
So if there's an SL down, go Westy.
It's not on a needs be, like there's no kind of trauma rating.
No, but in our medical training, our advanced medical that we're working on, that is definitely going to be in there. So it's medics and then section leads.
Copy that, thank you.
But don't worry, you won't die, Westy. But yeah, it can be. It doesn't need to be we don't need to find a building and have rooms set up. This can literally be in the ditch on the side of the road. It can be set up very quick in the space of 30 seconds, really. And then, yeah, once that's done, even in this situation here, if we've got 2 members down, a medic treating them, and we're holding security, it's still the same situation. If it's an MCI, we're calling in for assistance, because at the end of the day, we've just had members go down. Whether that's under control or not, we don't fully understand at this stage. We're holding this position, so we could get overwhelmed here pretty quickly. So yeah, we're not capable of moving, so we need assistance.
Copy that.
Yeah, there's not much else to really go through. Am I missing anything, Hutto?
No, looking good so far. I'm going to go back into... now let's go to the doctor's ABC.
Alright, we'll go back up here, so Andrus may join us.
Oh, my night vision is on the ground. Under the ground. Look at that.
So yeah, skill issue.
Can you see it?
That seems to be the answer recently. Default.
Yeah, so if you are not picking up the main idea of this procedures training, a lot of it is around eliminating the danger so that treatment can happen, or eliminating the danger so that no more people go down, and preventing an actual MCI, because it's much quicker for a section to stop and treat one person and then move again quickly. You don't want to keep running into an area where 1 or 2 members have just gone down and the danger still exists there, because obviously if they've been shot and they're down, why would people continue to run to that area? So the number one point of this training is around taking care of the danger before any sort of treatment happens. Which brings me into the next part, which is the doctor's CABC procedure. So the doctor's CABC procedure, we're going to go through each one of those letters and explain what it is. Like I said, the PDF's on the in the Discord training channel if anyone wants to have a look at that. We've got quite a few points, quite a few letters here that we don't have. We've got, it's not in the game, sorry. It's just not in Reforger, so I'll explain it more as we get up to those letters. but we are keeping them because we do intend on running a advanced medical once we're happy with the mod, and we'll probably run that on all our unit servers and in operations, so this will all become relevant at that point. So yeah, the Dr. CABC procedure, you must be very confident and competent with this procedure. The skills learned, doesn't make sense, that next part, but I'll have a look at that afterwards. But yeah, pretty much you need to know this procedure because not only does it protect life, it also guides you through the medical treatment of a person as you're about to see. So I said it didn't touch on medical. In this procedure, it touches on medical, and these steps take you through the steps that you need to work on a patient. So the first one is danger, which is the D in doctors. So danger is the most important part. Like I just explained before, there's no point in multiple people going down. Once a call sign has been crippled by even one person going down, they really need to get that person up and keep moving. Section leader will decide whether a fire team does something separate or whatever, who they keep there to treat, until that point of that second member going down, which then they've got a situation. But the first step here, which is danger, so the danger of any situation needs to be eliminated before we move in for treatment. That means taking out any possible threats, throwing smoke, pulling a person back into cover. But before treatment can start, the danger needs to be eliminated. Any questions on that? I see Andrus is leaving and joining. I'm not sure what's going on there.
He's looking for his bag.
No, I'd say he's having some sort of issue, but we're more than halfway through this now, so I really want to keep going here. Yeah, any questions on the danger part? It's the point that it's the main point of this whole training, really, that I want to make sure everyone's aware of, because I see it so many times in the public server that when someone goes down, yeah, just people will race for that location to try and get them up, and that's okay if it's safe to do so.
Exactly.
I mean, if they've just been shot there, well, you know in the public server how many enemy are on there. So if they've been shot there, you're probably going to get shot as well.
Yeah.
One person down is better than 3 people down.
Yeah, and in some situations, you may still take the risk. You can minimise the risk by throwing smoke and possibly moving that person back. If you deem it safe to do so, you're the person that's about to save this other person. There's no point if you're lying on the ground 10 metres back from them. You may as well have just left them die, because you're going to be better off.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah. The second letter is R. It's response. So this one is around checking the people that are working in your vicinity, making sure they're still up. So they might not always be visible to you. They could be, you could be clearing a building. They could be on a different floor in a different room. So when there's danger around, it's just about continually checking that that person's still up. Usually this would be done, usually that would be done on proximity only. You would want to keep comms clear, and you don't really want to do this over comms. It's just proximity, but worst case, it may be over comms, just in your section net. But yeah, the worst thing is, especially when we're running without name tags or player markers on the map is that you don't even know that they're down. So one thing that you do need to do is just continually check and make sure that they're okay. Past that point in these steps, this does move into a little bit of medical, and you'll see that we don't have all the features in Reforger yet, so a couple of these we'll just browse over, but yeah, we do intend on bringing it, that's why we've left it in there. The next step is S, send for help. So don't forget that in this particular situation that we're going through, we haven't done any medical on the person yet. All we've done is moved in and taken care of the risk, made sure the situation is safe to work, and then we've just covered the response. So before we actually start medical treatment, we are going to send for help. So right now, we're on the verge of an MCI because we've got one person down. We're about to start medical treatment, so straight away we'll call through to our section lead and just let them know that we're going to need help here. We've got one person down. Any backup so that you can begin treatment would be assisted. Would be, or even that call may go through to PHQ. Sorry, that could be for any sort of help. But as a section member, you would probably be calling your section lead to take care of that. So yeah, now that we've taken care of the danger, we know they're down, we've sent for help, we can begin treatment if it's safe to do so. The next step, which is C, is control bleeding. So we're going to take care of all the bleeds. That's all we need to do at this time. In advanced medical, it's going to be slightly more difficult if anyone's actually had a look at that, in where that a single limb could need multiple bandages to actually heal it. There is a little bit of variation there in the wounds. So yeah, the doctor's CABC steps, that part that I've just gone through up to C, so doctor's C, is about all we have access to in Reforger right now. The next steps aren't in Reforger yet, but you'll definitely be able to look forward to these soon. So the last three, which is ABC, the first one, A, is airways. So airways is coming very, very soon. It's pretty much the one thing I'm kind of waiting for before we work out whether we actually want to use this. So it's airways and breathing, so it will require you to clear airways, check breathing. B, is in Reforger, it's blood. Obviously saline, we don't have actual blood, we've got saline. Does the exact same thing. So yeah, once we control the bleeding, we are giving blood if they require it. And then the last one is C, which is circulation, which is obviously only in advance right now, and that is their state of cardiac arrest. So that's pretty much what it adds to Reforger. So it requires CPR, also blood pressure. Has anyone had a look at the advanced medical on the training server other than Andrus? I know you have, but has anyone else?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, hello, Andrus. Lemonade does it in real life. So do I.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Sorry to call you out like that.
Yeah.
No, that's good to know. I know who should be putting their hands up for medical positions then.
The only
seeing as that's been brought up already, the way that how was this developed? Because it's very different to what we would do in real life. So, for example, it's usually doctors A, B, C, D, and you're controlling your bleeding would fall under C, depending on whether you're looking at it from an ALS or BLS perspective.
Say that again. You're controlling your bleeding.
So
when?
airway and breathing, in real life, your doctors ABC, so it'd be airway, breathing, circulation, or airway, breathing, CPR. So your control bleeding, your airway and breathing trumps circulation.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether once it's fully implemented, whether it will change a bit.
It's not going to change. No, this may be changed for game a little bit. They are the steps that we have to follow in ACE medical. So that is the correct procedure as per ACE medical. So yeah, unfortunately they're not going to change because I don't believe ACE is going to change that.
They did have it in Armour 3, like, realistic.
This is from Armour 3.
Is it? Okay.
Correct. So yeah, this is the reason why some of these parts are not implemented in Reforger yet. Obviously they're coming, but this whole step has been taken directly from a Milsim group in Armour 3. I believe it's American, by the way.
There's the reason.
That's why it's upside down.
But anyway.
No, it's all good. I was just that's basically answering my question was where is it developed from?
No, yeah. I do. I mean, I don't do that for a living or anything like that. No, for myself, but I do feel that it would have been tweaked for in-game.
Oh yeah, no, it clearly has.
For sure, yeah. But I have looked into ACE and Advanced ACE at the actual correct steps and the procedure you're meant to take, and it does fall in line with that. And it also falls in line, by the way, with CAT Medical from Armour 3.
Ooh, it shivers down my spine. CAT Medical. Holy shit. You
like hearing those lungs gurgle?
Oh, yeah. That's good shit, that.
So yeah, then last of all, so I'll just recap. I know Andres has missed majority of this, but I'll just recap those steps. So the main point we really want to take out of that is the danger step for what we're going to do. We just don't want to cause any more casualties in a situation to try and save one person. We do want to save that person, don't get me wrong, but we don't want to cause any more casualties in the process.
How long have you got until, after the casualty goes down to actually get to them to work on them?
Well, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. Because if the situation's not safe, it's not safe. If you get to them, you get to them, and we're certainly going to try and get to them. But yeah, if we were running ACE Medical, ACE Advanced, sorry, they don't necessarily die. That state of cardiac arrest does hold them for a lot longer. They'll stay alive there for a fairly long time. Without that, they will probably regain consciousness, to be honest with you. Unless it's quite a bad injury, in which case they won't. They'll just slowly bleed out and die. But that does take a while if that happens. You could lay there for a good 3 to 5 minutes. That's why a lot of people respawn.
Yeah. Well, the ACE Advanced, it takes longer too because it's set to a longer time frame. So, yeah, so we saved Athena. She had 4 bleeds and she'd been blown up by a truck, and we actually saved her in the field. So that was pretty surprising that it's actually doable.
Yeah. No, it's definitely doable. And I still haven't had the privilege of having to use the medication to really get someone. I can generally do it just with the saline, morphine, CPR. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. I have used the drugs, don't get me wrong, but I haven't been in a situation where I couldn't get someone back without using them. Which is what I'm most worried about right now with that mod, like pushing it to the operations. The fact that some of them just, they don't quite seem to be working. Always concerning, isn't it, when you're in the middle of a training session and the dude standing in the centre pulls his weapon out and reloads it. Alright, we'll move on to drugs. So we've only got two
drugs.
Yeah, okay. We've only got 2 drugs we need to talk about here for this training, and that's morphine and epinephrine. The morphine is literally just to treat pain, and the epi is the wake-up drug. That changes in ACE Advance. Epi is not a wake-up drug. So that's the only thing you really need to know there. It's not going to wake up a patient. But for everything we're doing right now, it's morphine and epinephrine. The treatment of a patient when it comes to drugs is a little bit of a grey area in Reforger as to when you'll hear people say that not to give morphine until a patient is awake, because it will keep them down for longer.
Yeah, there does seem to be some confusion there as to when morphine should actually be used, and I hear different things from different people.
Because I think
doesn't
vanilla,
matter
in vanilla,
Reforger, full stop. Even with normal ACE medical, not advanced, it doesn't matter what you put in. It actually doesn't let you overdose people either. So
No,
once
it doesn't.
one's in, that's it. It won't let you put any more in, which is shit, because it's like a dummy proof for fucking retards. It frees the amount of. It actually, like, you could look at their triage card and it'd tell you exactly what had been administered at what time and such and such. This is just fucking a kid's game, pretty much.
Yeah, so you kind of got a triage card in advanced. It definitely tells you what's been done to the patient, including what drugs have been given. But so I've done a fair bit of testing with it. I haven't seen any difference between giving that morphine when they're uncon or waiting till afterwards. Technically, I mean, it's pain relief until they're conscious again. They don't necessarily need pain relief, but in the game, you have the option to give pain relief before you have the option to give an epi. So what way that's meant to go in the game is probably questionable. They're indicating that you give morphine as soon as you can. And that's similar in advance too. That does a similar thing, although the morphine, I believe takes, from memory, it takes 3 minutes to fully work, and you can give a second dose after 10 minutes. So in advance, I believe you overdose with around 3 is the actual amount, but 4 will definitely make you overdose. 3 will also make you overdose, but you'll need to wait that 3 minutes out on that last one.
I concur.
Yeah, and I've seen it. I've seen him test it.
Having had morphine in real life, I could understand.
Yeah.
There's no naloxone in.
There is.
Oh, there is? Oh, cool.
There is, yes.
Real happy drug.
Yep. So yeah, we'll just cover this last part. So the last part is the handover of a patient. So pretty much we're getting assistance. We're going to hand over that patient so this call sign can continue moving. That can happen where you do leave a member who's still being treated with the support call sign. So you're going to want to give the information to whoever's taking over that patient of exactly what's happened so far. So if we were doing CPR, which we're not in here, but let's say we were, you would want to be telling them exactly what you've performed. You would want to be telling them whatever you've administered in the way of saline, and definitely any drugs also you may want to add to that roughly how long ago those drugs were given. So this person who's approaching to take over the treatment knows nothing of what's happened before that. So yeah, you want to give them as much information as you can.
Is there a structure to that should occur?
In our document, and whether this is correct or not is another thing, but the way that we've listed it is blood circulation and drugs. Yeah, whatever you get up to in the treatment, I suppose. You may, in most cases, you may not have given anything because they're probably still in that uncon position when someone moves in to actually provide assistance. I mean, if they weren't, you'd probably be moving, wouldn't you? So yeah, that pretty much concludes the theory portion of this. So you can see that we mainly focus here around the situation. We don't really touch on a lot of medical in this one. The advanced medical training that we come out with next will be 100% directed at medics and the treatment of patients. So yeah, this one here is, like I said, for section members so that everyone understands the situations, the MCI, the CCPs, and can, quickly react in the field when that happens. You got any questions on any of that? Hato, anything to add?
Negative.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. The main thing, just keep in mind that danger. Like, there's no point, even on the public server. Like, I'll watch someone run in completely in the open, get shot, and I won't even move in on them. I'll leave them there to die. It's like, I'm not risking running over there just because you wanted to do it without cover. You're running towards the point. There's obviously fucking probably 50 dudes around there, and you're one guy running towards the point straight down a road with no shirt on. You'd be lucky if you had pants on.
Only if it was Battlefield. You'd see me swan diving in front of 40 camps just to defib someone and wake them up.
But yeah, mainly I just want everyone to take away that danger part. Make sure it's safe to do so. If you're going to move in and try and save someone and perform treatment, get help coming. It's what we've got call signs for that can provide support. So call in the help. You don't know whether that's going to be an easy fix for you, or you're going to be sitting there for 10 minutes trying to get them up. If support sign moves in say 5 minutes, then you can just be on your way.
Can we practice our medical or lemonade?
Well, yeah, we don't have any sort of advance here, but what I will say is, normally we would definitely run a mini-op where we'd set up a situation where we could definitely practice a little bit of this. This being a Thursday night, and I know a couple of people had to leave a bit earlier, I just decided not to do it, including me, by the way. Pete, including me. So yeah, that's what we didn't do one tonight. But any of yous are welcome to go and take an objective and, try and put some of this stuff into practice. And I will recommend that you do go through that document, which is in the training channel in the Discord, and just reread through that. Just make sure that you know how to classify an MCI, what's meant to be set up in a CCP. But yeah.
Roger that. Thank you, Michael.
Roger. Thank you, Michael.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice armband, Andrews.
Well, yous are all welcome to jump off or do whatever you like for the evening.
My new armband's
Thank you.
Oh, I just wear the same
There you go,
colour,
guys.
close akin to a mask.
That was basic medical training with A.A.O. Fantastic. I hope you all learned something. I certainly learned something about about mass casualty instances, things like that. Now, if you want to jump on board, play with these guys, I'll show you. Search for A.A.O. Right? Top of their screen. So this one is for members. If you want to join their squads. There's public service as well, which are PvE, and they've just got a new one, PvE, up. So come along and have a look. Love to see you here.
Mind you, I've got five clips for the machine gun.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Machine gunner, I'd expect to be around that.
I carry